What is an angel? An angel is a thought of Allah manifested in human flesh. What are angels used for? To carry messages to the four corners of the world, to all nations. What is our prophet to us? He is an angel of Allah, who is sent to bring us the everlasting gospel of Allah. So when they speak of Muhammad and say he received revelations of the truth from Allah from an angel, he was shivering with cold, and when he entered his house, he asked his wife Khadijah to cover him with a blanket, which she did. When he had sufficiently recovered from the shock, he recounted to her the story of his strange encounter with Gabriel in the cave of Hira. Khadijah said, "O son of my uncle, you will be a messenger," and the uncle is Ali, who adopted him. Muhammad said, "I am commissioned by Ali to restore the true doctrine of Ishmael." He retired at stated periods to the solitary cave where he sought to throw around him the charms of obscurity. He now denounced in severe terms the prevailing superstitions among his fellow man, killing his lower self like what Jesus did. Only 2 years later, Abu Bakr transitioned and was buried next to Muhammad. Then Umar was given the spot where his daughter was to be buried next to Muhammad. See, they always trying to get all close up with him. And he was trying to get his daughter to be connected with Muhammad, even if it had to try to make the world believe that he would marry her when she was a child. That's how much he was trying to get in. Because not only that, but then the area was expanded for another man to be buried next to Muhammad. Like the prophet said, all up in his face all the time. You see how they're trying to push the Alis out of the way and put themselves next to Muhammad. But Muhammad only received the message through an angel, which is a thought of Allah manifested in human flesh, is what it says, brothers and sisters. But they're trying to hide. Muhammad did not know how to read or write the gnosis, but the one who was giving him revelations of the truth. So the angel had to snatch him up by his collar, show him the little bit that he needed to learn to go out and tell whoever that angel was trying to get this message to. Even after Muhammad transitioned, they came to his own home and started kicking the door in, man, and the Alis was in the home. From my studies, Muhammad's living space was 10 foot by 10 foot. But you got these people saying they're following Muhammad in Dubai, and they got mansions and gold and all this and gold and all that. They out of line, and it's obvious, brothers and sisters, for real. So they pushed the Ali mothers, Khadijah Ali, Fatima Ali, baby Ashgar Ali, Abbas Ali, Hussein Ali, Hassan Ali, Zaynab Ali, Noble Drew Ali. Getting back to the Aisha issue, where the Muslims in the East can't answer it, because if they do, they got to give away the whole scheme in secret, because they say Muhammad married a child. The man that buried himself next to Muhammad would have did anything just to get into the airship, as far as the Alis too. Because as soon as he transitioned, all of them turned on the Alis, man, and was kicking their doors in, making them get on their knees and all that. So he even was trying to give his own daughter up to get the airship. The daddy was pushing on it to happen sooner, even when she was a baby. Khadijah Ali was the only one who had a gate open to the temple and library study, 24 hours a day. The rest of the time, all of the other courts had the gate locked, but at all times, Khadijah Ali could go to the temple and study. The temple library. Those Muslims do not want you to find out about the father of all orphans, Ali, because that's who had the gnosis, was that bloodline, because that's the bloodline that Allah chose to be a thought of Allah manifested in flesh through him, to be angels and prophets and messengers to the four corners of the world. Indeed. And that's no chaser, brothers and sisters. The Ali mothers are known as the mothers of the faithful, not the mothers of belief, the mothers of the faithful. Even Jesus got a parable put on him in the Bible. How they say Jesus gave out all these parables and great knowledge. Well, only a Canaanite mother gave the parable back to him. And he said, "You are the faithful." And he said, by your own will, you can save your daughter, because she came up to him and was like, "My daughter is in lower self. She has a spirit. And can you help me?" And he said, "I'm not going to throw pearl among swine. So I could go down there and talk to your daughter all day long, but tomorrow she'll be out twerking and watching these dumbass videos and songs. So it's going to be a waste. So I'm not going to throw the children's bread among the dogs." But then she came back with the parable. Well, dogs even clean the crumbs off of a master's lap. You know, she gave him a parable back because that's the Canaanite mother. That's the mother. She gave him a parable back, brothers and sisters, and set him back on his heels. But yeah, the Ali bloodline is known as the mother of all faithful, or the mother of the faithful. And this Canaanite mother was called the faithful. And even the beginning of it, it says the faithful Canaanite. So the mothers of the Canaanites are the Alis. So yeah, we get into it over here, brothers and sisters. It's long. If we think we have a thought, and if we have a thought of Allah, we can save ourselves. Another correlation is as far as the 72 virgins. That has to do with the 7 Ali sons that left Mecca and tried to go to Medina because there was other ones trying to make their succession, trying to make them get on their knees and tell them that they're the successors. So they left Mecca and tried to go to Medina, and the 7 sons get killed, and they took all of the virgin mothers of the Alis after they killed the Ali sons and the 72 faithful soldiers. 72. But they backed themselves in the corner. That's how they can't say nothing about the 72 virgins, because actually it was after the Battle of Kabaa that they killed the 72 faithful of the Alis and took the virgin mothers and children. It's the 72 they killed to get the virgins, but they can't say it, so they're stuck in a corner. There's huge populations in other nations that if they knew you was the bloodline of Ali, they would do anything you say, because yearly they whip themselves on the backs with spikes on a belt because they tell the story of the Ali sons being killed, and they'll whip their backs until blood runs in the streets. But one day it's going to run to the brow because everyone's going to know about it. But if them people that whip themselves on the back, if they know you're the bloodline of Ali and they just do it yearly because they know the sons was killed, if they know your blood, like Noble Drew Ali, if he went there, if he was ever there, man. And it's messed up that people in other countries have more faith, more knowing, and more unity for the prophets of the Alis, who are the thought of Allah manifested in flesh, to bring the message to the 4 corners of the world. And love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice is to be taught to all nations in all lands, because they're seeking peace. And if they are not seeking peace, then they have abandoned their love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice principles. Also, when you go look at where Muhammad is buried, they took the wall and they say they made it into a pentagram shape so that when they pray, they're by the tomb, so that when they pray, it's like they're not facing the dead or something like that. And I found it very odd that they made the wall into a pentagram so that it would not be praying towards the dead or something like that, brothers and sisters. That's what I mean. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be dug up, but we're pulling over every stone and we're looking through everything with sifters, brothers and sisters. This is for the younger ones coming up, man. I hope y'all are going to study like we did. So the conclusion is, a prophet is an angel, thought of Allah manifested in flesh, human flesh, bringing messages to all 4 corners of the world. Also with Jesus, an angel, prophet, thought of Allah manifested in flesh, visited Mary, and then here come Jesus. You know what I mean? Also, like with the mothers, speaking of the Canaanite mother, she was an adept just like Mary, because it said that Mary went to the adept chambers years before Jesus. So these was adept Ali mothers, especially with the Islamic jurisprudence law. Zaynab Ali, she was the one that witnessed all the 7 sons of Ali get murdered by all them soldiers, and there was only 72 of them. So they took all the mothers and children, and Zaynab was one of them. She later would testify in the tribunal or the court or whatever, right in front of the main man that killed all of the Ali sons. She spoke with an intelligent tone, and she spoke stern and let the truth be known what they did to the family. She's like, no matter what you do to me, and she spoke the truth. She was Zaynab Ali, and she spoke with reverence and truth at that day. And we can go over her whole transcript if you like, because she was Zaynab Ali. You know, picture Mother Anaida or Roz in the court going off with intelligent tone. That's what it was. Truth is going to crack the lies of concrete, brothers and sisters. So they get backed in the corner, and that's why all this stuff gets extra'd out, and they got to make all this magical stuff because they don't want to tell you who the true prophet, the thought of Allah manifested in flesh was. And that was the Alis who gave the gnosis to Muhammad and many more, because it was the bloodline. They had the gnosis. Also, they are taught that Gabriel visited Muhammad and told him to marry Aisha. There again, trying to get Muhammad to get an heirship, but she got caught with adultery. And Ali says, see, I told you don't mess with that girl. But then now all of a sudden, Gabriel again told him to marry. That's Abu Bakr. That's just like after the Prophet transition, Kirkman Bey, all them messing with the papers and all kinds of stuff, man. Taking the mandate, all that craziness. It's all the same, that cycles over and over again. But Ali told Muhammad not to mess with that girl, but Abu Bakr wanted heirship even since she was a baby. So he was willing to do anything, even bury himself next to him. Ali's was known for feeding the poor, leaving food on the porches. The father of all orphans, Ali adopting everybody. That's why Ali was the father of all orphans. They're very cherished by Allah, especially when they're meant to unfold into perfection and they come around the Ali bloodline or the Gnosis. So they're able to unfold and they get clean water instead of getting sprinkled gasoline on them. They get pure water and they're able to unfold. You take the potent seed of Allah that's supposed to unfold into perfection and have destiny that is known. Instead of feeding it the truth and water, you feed it gasoline. And that's what a lot of our brothers and sisters are missing in the spirit realm. There is a numerous class who said the world had existed from eternity. Time never was when man was not, brothers and sisters.